It's a special edition, like I mentioned earlier. The special edition, it's a special segment that we have called Business Clinic. We'll try as much as possible to be your entrepreneurial buddy, your entrepreneurial labyrinth that will take you through some of the challenges. So my guest is joining us right now. She's Kelechi Mbah. She's a growth hack expert. I like that. Hello, Kelechi, and welcome to the program.
Hi, Nancy. Good
Hi.
morning.
Good morning. How are you? How do you feel being on the debut, the special segment we have created on the show? The first, and I'm happy there's a
Uh,
lady that I'm having.
yes, it's an honor. It's a beautiful one you've done. I think that's quite thoughtful, that you've carved out this segment. Thank you. Good to be here.
Thank you very much. It was really born out of the need, like I mentioned at the beginning of the program. I've heard people complain over the years. Okay, this year now, they say no grief for anybody. I did a short video some days ago, as in no grief for anybody should be around even your finances and getting yourself together, your financial fitness and financial well-being. And this is just one of it. So thank you for joining us. So I think I'll really go into the nitty-gritty. I think we have a lot of questions, and let's quickly start taking them. Um, why? Let me start with this background. Why is it important for you to really be hands-on on your business? Because we have a lot of people on Zoom right now that are our audience, virtual audience. Okay, they are really with me, really, but they are not with me in the studio. Why is it really important for you to be hands-on on your business? And can you really know it all? You're a growth hack expert. Can you really know it all when it comes to your business?
Thank you. Thank you very much, Nancy. I think I'll take the second one first. Can you really know it all? Nobody, no singular individual, you know. Um, I know we usually would use the word powerhouse, oftentimes when we want to refer to people who are great at what they do. But the truth is, no singular individual will know everything. The beginning of wisdom for even any business person is the ability to consult in areas that you do not understand, whether you're consulting formally or you're consulting informally, to ensure that whatever it is you're doing in that area is best practice, especially for you to get the kind of wins that you desire. So talking about everyone knowing it all, definitely you cannot know it all. Talking about being hands-on on your business, I would want to get clarity on what you're referring to exactly. When you say hands-on, are you saying that you must understand the intricacies of your business,
Exactly.
or are you saying that you must be
Exactly.
vested
Yes,
in?
the intricacies of your business. Some people, you know that there's this crave right now. Everybody wants to be an entrepreneur. Everybody wants to own a
Mm,
business. But I also know
mm,
that there's a part that everybody cannot be an entrepreneur. Do you understand? So for those
mm,
that are also entrepreneurs,
mm,
must you know everything to really own a business? For example, you want to go into the sachet water making business. Must you be like into quality control, or must you really know the intricacies of recruitment, that's HR, or finance, keeping your books together, and all of that? Because you see a lot of people falling into those traps, and their
mm,
businesses fail at the end of the
Very
day.
spot, very spot on. I must say that maybe owing to unemployment, owing to a lot of many other factors, inflation, a couple of those things, you have a lot of people who to classify as crisis entrepreneurs, people who just decide to start off something, especially for survival. We live in a terrain where survival is key. Especially for survival, you see a lot of people start up businesses, and like you have rightly stated, oftentimes those businesses fail. It's important that you have a good knowledge of your business. It's important that you do not venture into something that you do not understand, except you're coming from the aspect of being an investor in that business, meaning that you have other areas. You probably have a sound business acumen that even when you do not know the nitty gritty of that particular area, when you're not a special you do not have a specialty in that area, you understand business, you understand the dynamics of business, you understand the things to look out for. You can look at numbers and know when it's going well or when it's not going well. You understand the economics, you understand the business climate, the environment, and so you can function from that bit. But when you're a business owner in the area that you have chosen to go, there should be something that you know that is making you venture into that area. Probably it's you have a background learning in that area, or you've been an apprentice. Permit me to use the word apprentice in referring to work. I'm a strong advocate of having people work before jumping into business. It's beautiful. We've had many of those under 20 stories or under 30 stories about starting off something. That really works. If probably from your background you've maybe been involved in a family business, you come from a family line where business is the core for you. Summer, the holidays you've had, all of those things you've utilized it learning, so it's actually been like a learning process for you. Outside that, what the work environment does for you is actually it makes you your business, it makes you learn the thing enterprise. In other words, it's almost like you being paid to learn.
Okay.
And when you have that experience, it's an either or. you know when you do not have that experience, you do not have a background learning in that area. um I mean, it's almost like a challenge.
Okay.
However, permit me. Okay, you want me to start
Yeah.
or I
Okay.
should
Oh,
go
no,
on?
no, no. Just land on your thought for like 10 seconds so that we can start
Yes,
taking questions. And
yes.
and just before that, I want to tell I see our attendees there. I want to say that Prosper will be the first to ask question. Prosper Okachi, Favor will follow next. So Favor is number 2. I hope you're listening. Then Wu is number 3. Now I can see Ambrose. Ambrose Dorothy will be number 3. So Kelechi, just land on your point. So we'll take it in that. We'll take the questions in that order. And I would ask, as you're asking your questions, you have less than 30 seconds to ask your questions because we have a lot of questions to deal with today. So go ahead, Kelechi.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I also believe that even as I speak, a couple of those questions will be answered. Permit me to add a caveat to the statement I was building. There's such a thing as a triangle of enterprise. Um, and this is where, partnering or getting the right people into your business then comes to play. For every business, you have the base, which speaks to the core of what that business is about, right? You're describing that triangle. Aside your core, the growth part of that business and the financial part of that business becomes the other two angles, meaning that either of these must be your strength. You should be able to boldly say at least one of these areas are my strength, even as I venture into this business. It's either I know all it takes, I understand this to the fingers, or I understand how to make a business survive, or I understand how to manage the finances of a business, and that way you're able to get the balance. Where you have any of those lacking, it becomes important that when you're getting people into that business, you make those your considerations as you bring them in to partner with you.
Okay.
We have a
Thank.
landing now, right,
Yes,
Nancy?
yes, I have a landing. So I can still hear an interruption. Please, for those of you on Zoom, can you mute your audio? I don't know where that interruption is coming from. Please do that. If you are not able to do that, I'm sorry, we'll have to take you out. So please just mute yourself. When it's time to come to you, you'll mute yourself. Okay, Prosper Okachi, I think let's yield the floor to you. Very quickly, ask your question in about 20 seconds. Go straight to the point. And hello,
Yeah,
welcome.
thank you for the opportunity. My name is Prosper, and I run Short Code, which is a recruitment firm for schools. So my question is this: concerning what is happening right now in Nigeria with the transport costs, which is affecting employers and employees, where people cannot take jobs that are too far from them due to the fact that more than 50% of their salary will go. What would be your advice if you were to run a recruitment firm? What would be the things that you would do to improvise in such a terrain?
Okay. All right,
Okay,
Prosper, thank you.
Prosper, you
Kelechi, let's just take the first three, then we'll come, then you answer in batches. Let's see if we can do that. Favor, you are number two. Please come on. Yeah,
Thank you so much, Nancy, for this opportunity. My name
you're
is
welcome.
Favor Basi, and I'm the founder of Savida Marketing Agency. It is a digital marketing agency, and my question is to the government: what is the government doing to ensure that many businesses in Nigeria are digitally inclined? Because from the statistics, it's clear that a lot of businesses do not know how to really market their sorry, a lot of business owners do not know how to really market their businesses online, and which has proven to be one of the very impactful way of advertising your business, which can reach a very large amount of audience. So I really want to know the efforts of the government in making sure that businesses in Nigeria, business owners in Nigeria are really digitally inclined or inclined. Thank you.
Okay, Favor, I don't know if that question is for us or for Kelechi, but let's see what we can do since we're not government people. The third person,
Okay.
Dorothy, please can you come online, unmute yourself, and let's hear your question. Is Dorothy here? Dorothy Ambrose, what's your question? Okay, I can see that her network is frozen. Okay, Kelechi, please go ahead and answer those questions. When Dorothy's on, we'll take her.
all right. Let me take the two. So Prosper, I don't know your pitch. I don't know. You in describing your business, you had said Short Code is a recruitment firm for teachers. And
Yes.
because you have a target audience, when you say for teachers, I don't understand that your house or business a little bit further. And it's important that when you do that, you establish it so that at each point in time when you describe your business, we don't have to come back, asking for it. Try and get about 20 words that nails exactly what your offering is, right?
Yeah. So in essence, we're a recruitment firm. We help schools to staff teachers. So the problem we noticed was that due to the high transport costs, some teachers could not take jobs that were a bit far from their location due to the fact that these schools did not have accommodation for those teachers. So I would want to ask, in your own point of view, if you were to run a recruitment firm and you notice this kind of issues, what will you do to improvise on something like this?
Okay, so because you outrightly pointed out on logistics, uh, commuting from one point to the other, it becomes very important that in looking at your pool, you're able to peg, right? Even in shortlisting your candidates, it's important that you have a large pool across the geography that you serve. And then you're able to peg people by where they live. That way, even if you were to digitize your business, say for example, and you're saying, find a teacher near you, kind of thing, right? A school should be able to look at their environment and find someone that you have pegged in that environment. I think this is pretty simple. It's for you to readjust how you're getting your people. And trust me, there are lots and lots of people out there. That way, you're solving a problem both for yourself, the school, the teachers. It's very important, especially because our schools are still very much physical. Maybe till we begin to run schools without gates and walls. By the time we get all the students, that can change. But for now, I think mapping your geography appropriately, getting the location of your people, and sort of like building a database according to the locations of your people will definitely help. I trust that helps. Can I move on quickly to the next person, Nancy?
Yes, please. You could answer Favor.
Right. Okay, so yeah, Favor was talking about what's the government doing. Okay, first and foremost, disclaimer: I'm not a government agency. I'm not a government staff. But this is what I'm going to say. Right? I don't think the knowledge area is the task of the government to do for an entrepreneur. For you as an entrepreneur, it behoves on you to ensure that all the knowledge you require to run your business successfully, to be properly equipped to do what you do, that you're able to find it yourself. Truly speaking, I think that is the stance every smart entrepreneur should take. However, I also know that within this government, there's been a lot going on with the Ministry of Innovation
And
and
digital economy.
Technology. The last time, yes, and the digital economy, a good number of people have been earmarked, to be taught, to be taken on digital trainings. Beyond what the government is doing, we've had a couple of OEMs who have brought out different trainings free that people can go and learn, and they are as simple as you can tell. If you go online, you'll find a lot of those resources. So government will do the part of ensuring that the infrastructure is right. For example, you have the right infrastructure, you have the right network to be able to do what you do, the right connections, and all of those things. The right policies that ensure that service providers in those areas can play in our environment successfully and quite well. That's the bit for them to do. And like I said, they've also gone further to make certain provisions. But please have that mindset that this is a primary responsibility for you to learn. And, for every gap that you identify, you are able to fill that knowledge gap. I
Okay.
trust that helps, Favor.
Yes. So I hope for Prosper and Favor that you're getting some insights into what Ms. Mbah has been saying. At least now you have an idea of what to do concerning, to add to what Ms. Mbah has said concerning Favor. I think that majority of entrepreneurs, and I also hope that you agree with me, Kelechi, is that majority of entrepreneurs are not, they don't do a lot of research even around, if you're into the knowledge economy and all of that, you need to read a lot. Like you said, a lot is happening in the digital economic space. So you need to be following that ministry. You need to follow even the sector leaders and all of that and know what is happening. Then for Prosper, I think I would also add something to what you're doing. I don't also think that you should limit yourself to one space. I don't know where you're joining us from. Let's say you're in Abuja or you're in Lagos. You can actually also enlarge your scope to, like, Kelechi gave you an idea, and I hope you picked it up. These are things you guys should be paying us for. Find a teacher near you. Perhaps like cities, like even major cities. You can even recruit virtually for schools that are not within your space. Because I've seen that some companies, they recruit for people in Abuja, but they're in Lagos. And it's just about, there are a lot of things that you can do now. So I would implore that you be a bit more innovative with what you're doing, and I wish you well. Now, let's go to Dorothy. Is Dorothy on there? Now, I can see Dorothy is on. You have to unmute yourself to ask your question so that we can allow others to do. Dorothy Ambrose, are you there?
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. Go ahead.
Um,
Yes, with your, I see you are giving me a broad smile. Good morning. And
Good morning.
your 20
Yeah,
seconds starts now.
okay. My question goes to those involved with small scale business that are just starting, mostly online. How do they get to gain the trust of their customers? Because these days we tend to see what I ordered versus what I got, and it's affecting those that are trustworthy people online. Because that is something I'm having. That's a challenge I'm having in my business.
That
So I
that
get to receive questions of how do I know that
if you
I'm
are
going to get the
genuine.
right thing? Yeah. And there was a time I actually delivered something to someone worth about 50,000 naira, and the person didn't pay me.
Was it payment on delivery?
Yes. Okay, the actual agreement was that you pay before delivery. But okay, the
Okay.
person was like, I've been scammed before. How
Oh,
will I know I'm not going to get scammed by you? I was like, okay, no problem.
okay.
I'm going to send you this thing. Then you send my money.
Okay, okay. I think
And it's always done.
I think we've gotten your point, because your question is how do you earn the trust of customers, especially in a virtual market? Then perhaps how do you connect with the right customers, both physically and
Yeah,
virtually? And for those that want to venture into small businesses, what is your advice? So that encapsulates your question. So Kelechi, before I come
yeah.
to you, let me also say that the fourth person that would ask a question now is, let me see those we have on on our list. I can see DG Oluwadamilola Oluwakayode. So you will be number 4. Then Victoria Adeyemi would follow DG. Then Victoria Roland would be number 6. So Kelechi, over to you with Dorothy's question. It's oh, okay. Um, I'm being told that Miss Mbah is out. Okay, let's who is number 4 now? Let's move over to.
Apologies,
Okay, okay,
I'm sure
she's
I
back.
experienced a glitch somewhere.
Okay, okay.
I didn't quite get Dorothy's question, you
Okay.
know.
Okay, Dorothy's question is
I
about.
didn't get Dorothy's question. Can you
Okay.
repeat the question, please?
Okay, her question is, how do you earn the trust of customers in a virtual market? She made an example that she delivered products to a customer and it was pay after delivery, though she did that based on trust that the customer would pay her, but that the customer did not pay her. So how do you earn trust in a virtual market? How do you connect with the right customers, both physically and virtually? And what advice would you give to small business owners that, or venture into small business, those that wants to venture into small business? That's her question. Okay, wow. I guess that the network is playing a very fast one on us right now. Okay, let's move over to, I can see Mr. DG Oluwadamilola. Can you ask your question? Let me see what your question is. Let's quickly take it. Can you unmute yourself? Okay, Miss Kelechi is back. This network should take time this morning. No? Okay, Miss Mbah. Miss Mbah,
Yes, tell me.
Dorothy's question is, how can she
Dorothy
connect?
is saying something.
Yes, that how can she earn the trust of customers virtually? She sells things online. What advice will you give to
Mm,
those that are venturing into small businesses? And number 3, how does she connect with the right customers,
mm.
both virtually and physically?
Okay, this is quite simple. I would like to start with the fact that a lot of,
Yes, go ahead.
a lot, permit me to use a lot of online vendors have further created, a lot of online vendors have further created problems. Permit me to say that the smartest way to do that is have a customer base physically, have a customer base that is not virtual. If you have served those ones and they are able to toot your horn, they are able to speak about you, you build a personal identity. First, before your business, an identity that can, someone can go to. It's obvious you have something at stake. It's obvious your business is not such that once you go mute, if you go online, you'll see a lot of those things. People order for things, and then by the time they make payments, the vendor just goes mute, goes a wall on them, you know. So you need to build a physical presence first. You need to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people you have sold to. When you come online, let it be those ones who would speak. And as they speak, have tangibility. Let there be a proof. You probably have a physical location, or someone else who is speaking about you has a physical location that can be vouched for. In other words, you're traceable. You're not looking like the wind. And then, 1 or 2 people can begin to trust you. And if any of the people who buy online are able to come back to say, I know those people. If they say it's this time, it's going to be that time. If it's not that time, because life happens, they will get to you ahead of time. They deliver when they say they will deliver. When you receive your goods, it's in pristine condition. It's ideal. You don't have any funny happenings around what you do, then you would have it. But to say that you would just surface, come online, try to sell something and people will embrace it, I'm not so sure. So go physical first, and then you can take it from there.
Okay. So, Dorothy, I hope that you've had a bit of insight, And that physical location could even be your house, as it were. You mustn't even own a shop, so it should be at least somewhere they can trace you to. If you don't have the money for a store, yeah, people around you can still come over there. So don't get jittery. I hope that next time that you will give me a success story. All right, let's move over to Mr. DG Oluwakayode. Please, can you unmute yourself? After Mr. Oluwakayode, we would have Victoria Adeyemi and Victoria Roland, 2 Victorias on the call. All right, very quickly, Mr. DG. Please, can you unmute yourself and ask your question? Okay, while he's still trying to come up, let's move over to Victoria Adeyemi very quickly. Can you unmute? And Victoria Adeyemi, let's hear your question while Mr. Luwakayode still joins us. And very quickly, we need to take a few more before we end. You know, this is a show. We are not in a webinar or a TV webinar, as it were. So let's go ahead. Okay, Victoria.
All right, thank you very much, ma'am. All right, thank you, ma'am, and good morning, everyone. All right, so my question is, as a SME, small and medium scale enterprise, especially we that would deal with raw materials you have to buy to produce cakes, pastries, food, and beverages, with the current increment in prices, consistent increment in prices, how can we optimize income and also retain our customers? Because that's actually my question. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Victoria. That's about inflation. How do you really manage inflationary prices around your business? Okay, Victoria, Roland, over to you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Victoria Roland. I'm the founder of Culture 37 Plus. We deal with cultural attires. My question now is on the energy sector. We know that in every business, the business is supposed to sustain itself and also be able to move on without bringing income from other sources to support the business. But I discovered that in Nigeria, energy is a very, very big problem. So how can we go about, what's the way forward for us now that the business we are into all needs energy, and then it takes most of the profit you make from the business? How can we be able to, take care of this situation?
Okay, thank you. Over to you, Ms. Mbah.
All right. Usually there will be no one size fits all. What I'll try to do with these questions is give you something as practical as possible. So if we go by the first question, how do you manage inflationary prices? There's really nothing to do but to also increase your price. However, this is what I'll say. Oftentimes, because small businesses have their production in small quantities, right? You're not able to maximize your, what's the word now? Should I use economies of scale? Because you have small quantities, the cost, you're not able to spread your costs across a good number of items. And then, you want to make your margins almost immediately. We live in that terrain where someone starts a business today, he wants to begin to have great margins today, he wants to break even in 4 months. I see some of those things when people, send in certain applications or in forums where, we talk to small businesses. They want to break even in 6 months. They want to break even in 8 months. And you're looking at the business and you know that ideally, if you want to have a good foothold in the markets, this business may not be able to break even in the next 3 years. And then you also have maybe investors who just want to hear that you would make all the money immediately. So the point I would have to make is that find a way to, produce in large quantities if you can, so that you can spread that cost across. If you can't, you just have to put the margin on it, ensure your quality is right. At every point in time, it's important that there's something you're bringing to the table. It's either your quality is solid, or you're cheaper, or you're doing whatever it is you're doing, you're producing better than the other person. So when maybe you're not able to achieve the others just because of the situation we found ourselves in, the right thing would be that what it is you say you're offering matches the value you're placing on it. And then people who want it, that you can go back to your target audience and ensure that the people who are able to pay for it are the people that you target. So I've said 3 things. Increase your production size. That way you can, spread your cost across. Strengthen what you do so that there are, someone can indeed say, for example, you talked about raw materials. Let's say you're producing bread. If it's good and you've been able to identify a good number of people who love it for what it is. You target those people, serve them. So it becomes a small niche, but that niche is able to pay, and that way your margins can help you keep staying in business. And like I said, when you're able to find that niche, you then borrow further and ensure that the target audience you're also trying to reach is right, and you're not trying to reach everyone, because everyone may not be able to, afford the hype that you have put in your price. If we go on to the dear lady that spoke about energy, that's a great one. You're in quite a serious place for a small business. This is what I will say: when you do not have the strength to carry what you intend to carry, what I advise is look at the value chain of the service area you're in, the business that you're in. Look at that value chain. You will observe that there may be areas that require less capital, less infrastructure, less logistics. Stay there. Start from there. Try to build some traffic there. So it may be as little as being a finder, right? If you're not able to match up with with probably the capital intensity that your business is requiring, it may just be that you become a finder. That way, you're not doing any of the heavy lifting. You're not paying for any huge equipment. You're not ordering. You're just a finder. And all you do is, I probably find this person, hook this person up with this person, and I make good money. You will be shocked that if you look at the money you make, it may even be more than the people who are doing all the heavy lifting and running from point A to point B. So please look at the value chain of the service, the business you provide
Okay.
from end to end, and see where you can play with less stress, where
Okay.
you can play with less of all the things that you need, and you never can tell. You can build from there till, whether it's the stability in the industry in question, the economy, or even in your own pocket.
Okay. All right.
Thank
Let's.
you.
I don't know if Mr. DG is on now, but let's move over to Isaiah Umude. Then we would also take question from George Babila Umfon. I saw that Mr. George has been writing. Kelechi, this this program seems like a master class because everybody has been writing. If you have been writing,
I
there's a
mean,
master class,
but that's great practice.
Yes, and
That's great practice.
seeing this now, I'm really happy because this is part of the intention of having this segment. So, Isaiah, please unmute and quickly go to, or is DJ available now?
Yes, I'm available.
You are available now? You are not unavailable
Yes,
like
it's with
Davido.
Isaiah.
Okay, shoot with your question. Okay,
Okay, thank you very much,
okay, that's
Chief
Isaiah.
Nancy.
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, thank you very much. And my question goes like this. One of the major challenge I'm the CEO of Atlas Import and Export Limited. I was opportune to attend your personal and business acceleration master class in 2022. And one of the major challenges I have been having is the issue of capital
Okay,
to start up my export and import business.
okay,
Then there was a platform you made for us to open a bank account with the Jais Bank in order for us to get a startup. But there was a time frame you made, but I was unable to open the bank account there. So my question is that how do I get capital to enable me to start the import and export business?
okay,
Or if
okay,
possible, how do I get a trade finance to enable me to start? Because I have the
okay,
market
okay,
and
okay,
we
Isaiah.
already
I,
have
I,
the
I I think your question is noted. How do you get finance for your business? And you said that you were on the personal and business acceleration masterclass we did, that the show did some
yes.
time ago, but you couldn't come in because of the time frame because we partnered with Jais Bank at that time. Let me just answer
Exactly.
your question straight. Of course, capital is very key for any business. I would implore that you get across to my team. Again, let's see if we can give you a leeway to Jais since they partnered with us on that program because Of course, we had even virtual classes, trainings for about 3 months with people that came to that event. So they will be giving you more information on that. Okay, let's move over to George. And please, if you are not on this call, can you unmute? George, quickly. We have less than 10 minutes to end this show. In fact, 8 minutes.
Good morning, Nancy.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone in the studio. I'm George. I'm connected to this program from Cameroon.
From
So I'm
Cameroon?
the CEO.
That's good.
Yes. So I'm the CEO and founder of a real estate company. So I want to ask a question because one of my challenges has been to go global.
Okay.
So I want to find what are the strategies for us to go as a real estate company to increase our sales, because the most important thing for us now as a company is to go global and to also increase our sales. How can we go about that? So that's the question I want Madam Kelechi to answer for me. Maybe that could be better. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. All right, please, can you mute yourself back so that Ms. Mbah can come? Okay, Ms. Mbah,
Right,
over to you.
Judge. Judge wants to go global. What do you do, Judge? I'm not sure I got that bit. What do you do? What does your business
So
do?
yes, my business, I'm into real estate.
Okay.
Um, yeah,
Oh,
I'm into real estate in Cameroon.
okay. You're into real estate, meaning you sell properties. Is that it? Okay. I
Yes,
mean, our program is from startup to scale up. And I don't think there's any tool. George, are you still speaking? Can I carry on?
yes, and I've been in business I've been in the real estate space for 15 years. So I really am
For 15
intentional
years.
to go global. So I want to know how to go about that.
Okay.
Okay, I'll just say things. I think one of the best things that have happened to the world is technology, social media being a major arm of it. Today, you sit in Lagos, you can reach the world. I'm sitting in Lagos. Chief Nancy is sitting in Abuja as we speak. You are sitting in Cameroon. The world has become a global village. And what has enabled that? Technology has enabled it. Digital platforms have enabled it, meaning that if you were to showcase something on social media today, it's going to be seen globally if you have the following, if you have the audience. So when you say you want to go global, I think the important thing is to be visible. If you do not have the capacity to be visible, partner with those who can help you become visible. Um, Aside visibility, because of what you do, there may be a need for you to have a physical presence in the areas that you want to play, in the locations and the geographies that you want to play. And so two ways you can go about that. It's either you partner with existing real estate companies in those different locations. For example, a place like Nigeria, you can find the people who resonate with what you do and partner with them here. The way you really need to go of establishing your business in a new terrain. And I say that to say regulatory issues can be critical, except whoever your clients are willing at every. But if you're in Cameroon and you want to move on to Ghana, you want to move into Nigeria, you want to move into other parts, other continents, then, like I said, number one, you need to be visible. Number two, you probably need to partner to extend your tentacles. Beyond partnering, you may need to physically establish your business in those locations. And the way to go about it is, regulatory, ensuring that all of the regulatory requirements that you have them. And there are a lot of business support firms that can help you do that. I know of one. I know Kudi Consult. They also help organizations in that country ensure that all the permits you require to practice or to carry out your business in those locations that you have them, and that you're not breaching any of them. That way you will be good, and then you'll be able to scale and reach any part of the world.
Okay. So I hope that you have a bit of, idea now, George, of what to do. I think partnership is very key. If you want to go global too, you need to also look for even companies that have the reach that you can also partner with. And partnership cannot, it may not be in form of money all the time. It mustn't be about capital. It also depends about what are you bringing to the table. So look at those options. We have just about 3 minutes to go. Oluwakayode sent in his question, and Ms. Mbadi is the question. I would like to know how you can improve your business and how to find employees that are loyal and committed to the set goals of the vision of the company. Very important, because many businesses now are crying about staffing, good staff. So how do we get to have staffs that are loyal and committed?
I mean, the issue of talents is a critical one, and it's not just for small businesses, enterprises, all sizes of business face the issue of talent migration. Uh, a couple of months back, global resignation was a major item on the table. And then talking about small businesses, more often than not, who do not even have the structures, many times to retain the right talent. So it's a big box with many items to unbundle. Not to talk of going as far as saying those who will be loyal. I think that first and foremost, what a small business owner should do or should properly own is a well articulated vision. And that at every point in time, at the slightest poke, you know, you are willing to describe it, you are willing to communicate it. It's also important that in hiring people, you know exactly who you are looking for. Because oftentimes small businesses gather people for the sake of gathering people. The question always will be, can you do without this person? I always ask small business owners, founders, when I meet them, can you do without this particular talent? And if you must make do with this talent, are you sure this person has the competencies that you require? Beyond having the competencies, I think another area where, and this is not just even for SMEs, it's for business owners generally, it's for HR professionals, is understanding the aspirations of the person you're trying to get on board. Questions, like where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Ideally, should answer those kind of questions. What do you see yourself doing? Who are you? And once at the slightest sense, you're able to identify that this person's aspirations is not aligned with yours, because every creature, every human is first and foremost selfish. Permit me to say that. People will think of themselves first before
Okay.
your business, before your organization, before all of that. And that's the truth. That's the reality.
Okay.
So it becomes important that their personal aspirations align with what you want them to do.
Okay.
And once that alignment is there, people see themselves in what you do. They are able to stay longer with you, and they are able to buy in. Nancy,
Yes,
yes, I've stopped.
the time is
The
timing, it's
time
timing.
thing,
And
yes,
I'm
yes.
supposed to
You
take
have
a
to
question.
run.
Yes,
You have to
I was
run.
supposed to take a question from Sir Victor, but I think we will leave it to the next edition. Victor, will you promise me you'll be on the next edition? Because I'm afraid we've got to go. We've got to go. Or you can
Yeah.
send your question. We will send it to Miss Mbah. She will send you a response. Should we do it that way? Yes, so we can do it that way. We can do it that way. Thank you very much. We also got a question as to how do I get a license for a microfinance bank? I was supposed to answer that, but I think I'll leave that to the next episode of the show. Someone sent a question that he wants to get a license for a microfinance bank. How do you go about that? So it depends on the type of microfinance bank you want to have, but I will give you more details
Yes.
later
Yes.
on the show, the next episode of the Business Clinic. But I want to say thank you very much, you all, for joining.